Welcome to the Home-Based Business Success Show. Today's topic, discovering your life purpose and achieving success. And good morning, everybody. This is Ralph with the Home-Based Business Success Podcast and ralphshomebiz.com, helping people get started in their own home-based businesses. And we have been talking about reading from The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. And yesterday, we were going through an introduction. And in this introduction, Napoleon Hill talked about the lessons that we have coming up in the Law of Success book, the 15 Laws of Success, as he calls them here. And the first that he mentions, and the first that we'll talk about more in depth in later podcasts as we continue reading from the Law of Success book, but the first one he deals with is a definite chief aim. Now, is this important? And why is it important? I believe that it is because I am one of those people went through the first half of my adult life really without having a definite chief aim. And I know it's sad, really. The first 40 years of my life were actually pretty darn sad. Did not achieve any level of success. I was just drifting from one low-paying job to another. I really did not have a chief definite aim. The one thing that I really wanted to be when I was growing up as a kid was a Roman Catholic priest. And in the beginning, I thought that was my chief definite aim, even though I didn't know at that time, that's what Napoleon Hill was calling it. I wouldn't read the Law of Success or anything else by Napoleon Hill for quite a few decades yet to come. But I thought, that really spoke to me. But my parents didn't really encourage it. And as I got deeper into my seminary studies and other studies, I really began to have significant doubts about going into, the Roman Catholic priesthood, the mandatory celibacy, and the rules about obedience and just being obedient to the bishop and to the pope. And the more that I read about the history of the church, the more I understood that unquestioning obedience to any kind of authority would be a recipe for disaster. I mean, I was really kind of a rebel. So I decided to investigate things on the Protestant side of the fence, did not really see things as being that much better. And so I really, for some reason, instead of pushing ahead with my own form of ministry, because I really did, I knew in my 20s, I had taken some vocational what did they call them back in those days? A vocational aptitude test, I think is what they called it, a vocational aptitude test. Did that in college. And the examiner, my God, I was really questioning whether or not I wanted to go into the priesthood at that time. And I took that test hoping it would show me another path forward. And the guy that gave me the test said, okay, Ralph, according to this test, you are perfectly suited to be either a priest or a farmer. I didn't want to hear either of those two conclusions at that point. And I expressed that kind of dismay to that examiner, and he just shook his head. And he said, well, according to your aptitude test, you would make an outstanding priest or a really good farmer. You're not really cut out to be anything else. And that hit me. Because at that point in time, I had already pretty much decided the Roman Catholic priesthood was out of the question because of the reasons I've already kind of brought up here. And the idea of being a farmer, well, at that time, farms were going bankrupt across the country. It really wasn't a very lucrative or long-term self-sustaining kind of an occupation or career to get into, at least from where I was sitting. And so I spent the rest of my, well, let's just say not really the rest of my life, but the next 20, 30 years, just kind of drifting. And I would go from, one minimum wage job to another. And I was always baffled as to why I didn't find my level of success. And now it's perfectly clear. If you don't know where you're going, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to be drifting. You take a boat. You take a fine boat. You take a ship. An outstanding, well-made, well-built ship. You take it out into the middle of the ocean, and then you evacuate the crew. No captain, no crew, no one guiding that ship. Just leave it at the mercy of the waves. Where is that ship going to end up? God only knows. It will probably not get anywhere exciting. May eventually, get destroyed in a storm and end up at the bottom of the sea. But a ship without a captain, without a sail, without anybody steering it, with no rudder, it's just going to be all over the place. And it may end up in a happy port quite by accident. But it will not get there on purpose. And that's what you need. You need to have a chief definite aim, a chief definite purpose. In one of the masterminds that I'm involved in now, the Grow Rich Mastermind, we go with the wording, a major definite purpose in life. And this is important because when you understand, who you are, what drives you, what you really want to be doing in life, you can really start to guide yourself in that direction. And if you figure out a strong why for yourself, the how becomes easy. This is a quote by Jim Rohn. When you have a strong why, the how becomes easy. So I think as entrepreneurs or just as happy human beings, whether you want to be an entrepreneur or not, discovering for yourself your meaning in life, your definite chief aim or major definite purpose, your meaning, your reason for being in this world. Once you discover that, you will know what your mission is. And your mission will definitely grow and evolve over time. Like thinking back to my own example. I felt a strong desire for ministry, okay? Now, at that point in time, I had a very narrow focus, did not have a very deep understanding about what that ministry could be. But I was pretty much cemented at that time in my thinking in the Roman Catholic Church, going towards the priesthood. I knew nothing else was possible. So when that door was closed to me, for a variety of different reasons, but mainly because mandatory celibacy and mandatory obedience and, not a whole lot of freedom, low income, that didn't scare me. I came from a low income family and, I would spend the majority of my life in low income jobs. So the low income thing, the money was not a deterrent. it was the freedom and freedom to have a family, other kinds of freedom. So yeah, that really killed that. But I should have, looking back, asked myself what other forms of ministry are possible. What do you love? What would you do as a service to other people? What would you gladly do for free? And I didn't really explore that very deeply because, at that point in time in my life, the mental conditioning of remaining in the framework of the Roman Catholic Church was just so strong that I had like a cognitive dissonance, really, that, I could see there were other possibilities out there, but at the same time, I didn't want to see them out of fear, out of, whatever. But my mental conditioning was such that I just couldn't see anything beyond the church. And when I began to take off those blinders, a whole slew of other possibilities began to open up for me. And, I can see now I had a load of other opportunities I could have opened myself up to and gotten into, but I didn't really understand myself that deeply. And as a result, I was like a ship without a sail, a boat without a rudder. And I was just drifting, one low-paying job to another. And once a person has an understanding of what their chief definite aim, their meaning of life is, then they can start figuring out, okay, what do I need to do to achieve this? And of course, understand that your reason for being, your meaning of life, will grow and evolve over time. So don't get stuck in one mode of thinking. Allow yourself to be more flexible in your mind and in your thought process. But yeah, once I began to see, the needs in the world around me, and once the internet became a thing, a whole new world just opened up. And I realized, I have a strong interest in meditation, got a strong interest in spirituality, spirituality of all kinds. World religion, spirituality, things like that. And I have studied so many different spiritual and esoteric systems of thought, philosophies. And I could eat this stuff for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and just never get enough of it. And, it used to be like if you wanted to find a job, having a strong interest in spirituality and a degree in philosophy won't get you very far in most companies out there in the United States, or probably a lot of other places in the world. But online, you can create numerous websites, many things you can do online. Let's just leave it at that. With that kind of an interest, if you have the imagination and the creativity and the drive to develop it. But the first step, understanding your chief definite aim in life. What is your purpose? What is your reason for being? Once you understand your meaning of life for you, then you'll know, okay, this is the general direction I want to go in. And then you can make plans to get started. And then once you get on the path, once you get started, once you have your general direction figured out, you can make course corrections along the way, be perfectly happy doing so. But for understanding what your major definite purpose in life is, what is your life purpose? I got 3 steps here. I like 3-step formulas, easy for me to remember, and usually pretty direct and straight to the point. But the first step is just sit down. Ask yourself, what are you passionate about? What would you gladly do for free if nobody would pay you to do it? What's one thing that you would do happily, gladly, for the rest of your life, whether there was a paycheck involved in it or not? And for me, this is extremely important. Other entrepreneurs, other coaches would say, no, this is silly, don't do it. I wholeheartedly disagree. Because once you find something that you are passionate about, you are gladly going to do whatever it takes to build a business on that, to make it pay. I have one guy that I've read, and man, I keep forgetting his name, but he's a rabbi. He wrote the book, Thou Shalt Prosper. And I need to open that book up again one of these days and figure out what the guy's name is. But I saw him on a YouTube video talking about, why you shouldn't get all hung up on why you should, do what you love what you do. He really wasn't that big into it. And in explaining why, he said, okay, this is why, because I love to eat, but who's going to pay me to eat? And he just dropped the topic right after that. It's silly, really, in his line of thought, to do what you love, because who's going to pay you to do what you love? Sometimes somebody will pay you to do what you love. Other times, most times, probably not. And he used that as an example. I love to eat. Who's going to pay me to eat? And I laughed when I heard that, because one of the many things that my wife likes to watch on YouTube are these, probably 30 to 60 minute monetized videos in which these women will be sitting down eating their favorite foods. And they will make a performance out of eating their favorite foods. There's one lady that my wife has watched, sits down, eats a gallon of ice cream, and she is getting paid to do that. She's doing what she loves, and she's monetized it. Brilliant. Nobody is paying her in a job to do what she loves, but she found a way to monetize her YouTube channel doing what she loves, and she's paying herself for that. That is the mindset of a true entrepreneur. Don't ask yourself, who's going to pay me to do what I love? Instead, ask, how in the devil am I going to pay myself to do what I love? So that's why, number one, ask yourself, what are you passionate about? Do you have a lot of wisdom that you'd like to share? Create a podcast, create a YouTube channel, do blogging, get out there. Don't expect it to pay you right away. Because, monetizing these platforms, even the ones that look easy, it takes time. Takes time to build up an audience, takes time and just consistent effort, really, to build up your audience and to start things rolling. It may take you a while. But once you find something that you are passionate about, that you would gladly do it for free, you may have to work a job for a while to provide yourself the money you need to live, but don't stop there. Continue building a business based on something you're passionate about so that you can build a career that will allow you to live a life. Not just have money, but actually live a life that you are happy with, that you're pleased with, and that will keep you happy and fulfilled for the rest of your material existence in this realm. So ask yourself, what are you passionate about? What would you gladly do for free? And write down a list of possibilities, because odds are there's more than just one thing. that you're passionate about. You may have several things. Make a list. And then the second step, number 2, I would say pray and meditate on those things for a while and do it every day. I recommend praying and meditating, getting in contact with the higher power of your understanding on a daily basis anyway. But while you're doing that, ask for guidance. We all are born into this world, I believe, with a major definite purpose. Now, we all have different understandings of God, the gods, goddess, spirituality, all that stuff. Some are, Christians, some are Jews, Muslims, Hindus, some are polytheists, some are monotheists, others are atheists. But no matter who you are or what you believe, we are all put into this world with a purpose. And even an atheist can sit and meditate and discover their life purpose, getting closer and closer to a higher power, whether you're comfortable calling it God or not, but getting closer to a higher power of your understanding and getting some direction. And of course, one of the gospel quotes that I love, whoever asks will receive. So yeah, ask your higher power of your understanding, and it may be a very, very basic understanding like the universe. That's great. Perfect place to start. Ask the universe, what is my meaning in life? What is my role? Why am I here? And then just sit down and shut up for about 20 minutes. Breathe in, breathe out. Allow the universe to answer you. And then after about 20 minutes, however long you decide to give it, can be as short as 10 minutes daily, but I like 20 minutes to 30 minutes. That's when the good stuff really begins to happen for me. But yeah, 20 to 30 minutes. Write down any insights that pop into your mind and keep track of those insights. And I would say do that on a daily basis. I think meditation, prayer should be done on a daily basis anyway. But when you're seeking guidance, when you're seeking direction, definitely do this for a while. And then write down any insights that pop into your brain. And if something good pops into your mind, take action. Take action immediately. But give it some time and write down any insights and then see which of these insights you decide to run with. And then when you have your list of things that you are passionate about, things that you believe make up your reason for being, then when you arrive at your conclusions, investigate. See how you can monetize these interests. See how you can monetize your passions. And don't be like some people saying, well, I really like food, but nobody's going to pay me to eat, so I better just become a janitor. Don't do that to yourself. If you're the kind of person that loves food, maybe that's your passion. There's a lot of opportunities out there in the nutritional supplement area. Food, find something in the health and nutrition field that you can get into, be all into. Supplements, diets, whatever. If you're overweight and you would just love to find out a good way to lose 50 pounds, then do some investigating. Find out a way that you can lose 50 pounds. And then once you find it, share it with other people. That can be a whole profitable industry in and of itself, the weight loss field, health and wellness. There's many different ways you can go with just having a basic interest and love of food. You could create a website sharing recipes. I got a guy. I thought, for me, this looks like a really weird way to go. But there's a guy in our home business academy that uses what to me seems like the oddest lead magnet, but it's working for him, is that he loves food and he will share recipes. And on his Facebook page, you won't see much about affiliate marketing or what he's into by way of affiliate marketing, but he shares a lot of recipes about unusual foodstuffs, unusual recipes. He had something on his Facebook page yesterday. It was an alcoholic beverage made out of Snickers bars and cream and ice cream and all kinds of gooey stuff. And I don't drink. I mean, it looked great to me. Just leave out the alcohol. That would make the perfect cocktail for anybody. But I mean, God, he's monetized that, using that as a lead magnet to get people into our affiliate marketing school. And I mean, there's so many ways that you can do this. Take a passion that you love and use it, monetize it in a way that is a service to other people, whether you're teaching them how to meditate or teaching them about philosophy or sharing recipes. You're being an aid to people. And then once you figure out how to monetize that, then you've discovered something that you can be about for the rest of your life and figure out a way to pay yourself for doing that. So if you're trapped in the employee mindset, and that's where I was for the longest time, as an employee, you're not really encouraged to think for yourself. George Carlin, oh my God, he had a great saying on this, talking about the educational system and also the employee mindset. But it was like, they want you smart enough to run the machines, but dumb enough not to ask any questions. Oh, he was a brilliant mind back in the day. But I mean, that's really the employee mindset right there. What do I have to know to get a job, to get money? And then that's it. No more personal development, no more self-reflection. It's just that, you're encouraged to be a slave, actually a wage slave, for the remainder of your life. But once you learn what makes you tick, who you are at an inner level, and why you're here, and you start getting passionate about this stuff, then yeah, you won't be asking who's going to pay me to do this. You're going to be saying who's going to stop me from doing this. And the key question is, how do I monetize it? How do I find a way to pay myself? And it could be by creating a YouTube channel, working with it for a while, maybe a year, maybe a little bit longer, and getting it monetized, building up your audience. And then there are people that have done really well with YouTube channels. There's a few people in our home business academy done extremely well with YouTube channels. The other day in one of our masterminds, a lady was saying she was wanting to create a brand new YouTube channel based around another topic that she's passionate about because it is a hot button topic. And so, yeah, people are doing it, all over the place. It takes time, it takes direction, it takes commitment. But yeah, it can be done. And of course, podcasts, to me, that's the low-hanging fruit. So easy to monetize a podcast. I've got, 5 podcasts now that I do, starting to do them all on a regular basis, some daily, some weekly, but they're all monetized. Easiest thing in the world for me to do. Start a podcast on Spreaker. That's the platform that really speaks to me, and get it monetized. My latest podcast had it monetized in 24 hours. Very low-hanging fruit. But there is still work that you need to do to build your audience, because without an audience, a monetized podcast or YouTube channel won't work. You need that audience. So there's still work to do there. But yeah, find out what you're passionate about and then ask yourself, how do I monetize this? And you can monetize it through affiliate marketing. You can monetize it through, blogging, create your blog, create your website, put up regular articles, and then have ads on that website. So many different ways. I'm just scratching the surface here. But the main thing, number one, find out what you're passionate about. Pray and meditate on it. Number two, get it solidly focused in your mind, in your psyche, in your being. What it is that you want your life to be about, why you are here. And then number three, how do I pay myself to do this? And you get going on that trend of thought. You can start going places. I know that's when my life began to open up. And now I see where previously I was stuck in a rut for like 30, 40 years, going nowhere fast. Now I'm like a kid out of college now, 62 years old, like a kid out of college. It's a whole world of possibility out there. I'm eager to grab it. So what changed? Mindset. That's it. So go through that 3-step process that I outlined. See if it doesn't help you. And if you've already found your major definite purpose in life, well, you probably shut off this podcast by now. But yeah, congratulations to you. Run with it. And don't forget, reach your hand out to the person directly behind you. And if they haven't found their major purpose in life yet, help be their guide. Help show them, help them find it for themselves. Because in the final analysis, we all have to discover this for ourselves. But guides and mentors can definitely help. So that's all for right now. I think I've droned on long enough on this topic. Tomorrow, we are going to pick back up in the reading of The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. And what is tomorrow's podcast? We are talking about the exciting topic of energy, molecules, atoms, and electrons. On The Law of Success, the Mastermind, going to be talking about that. And I think as we go through tomorrow's selection, it'll become obvious why Napoleon Hill suddenly decides to talk about molecules, atoms, and electrons, and a general discussion about energy, because all life, all matter, our thoughts, it's all energy. So yeah, there's a definite relationship between what you think, how you think, the quality of your thoughts, and the quality of your outer world. We'll get a little bit into that tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for dropping by. This is Ralph signing out. If you'd like to take a look at what I do for a living, we got a free mastermind you can become a part of. That link is in the program description, up above, very top of the program description. So you can find that. If you need help figuring out your definite purpose in life, that mastermind can definitely help. It's ralphshomebiz.com/growrich. Or if you're looking for a business opportunity, if you're looking for a way to build a business from home via affiliate marketing, we're big in the affiliate marketing field. And if you need help getting started, then just shorten that link there and go to my other main website, ralphshomebiz.com. That's ralphshomebiz.com. That'll take you to the paid affiliate offer that I am a part of. It is an affiliate marketing academy that teaches you all about building a business from home, earning recurring commissions through affiliate marketing. And this outfit, it's been around for 8 years, paid out over $5 million to affiliates over those 8 years, and it pays 80% recurring commission. So take a look there. And I think I'll go ahead and put that link in the program description down below also. It'll be way at the bottom, so you'll have to scroll down to it. But anyway, I'm putting the free stuff at the top, paid stuff at the bottom, because I want people to get value out of this. I don't want to just be selling stuff. I want people to get value from these podcasts. And then once they feel they've gotten value, then I think, the world's going to beat a path to your door to find out what your paid stuff is. But if you want to build your own business, I highly recommend this academy. I've been with it for over a year and learned so much through these guys, through the masterminds that we have. And it's just incredible. So check it out. So that is all for today. Thank you again for dropping by. Ralph signing out, this time for real. Catch you tomorrow. So long.